So, you have a very weak computer and you want to animate with Blender, but you want to improve its performance. Here's how you do it. Follow my mouse, okay? Click on the television screen called Render. Make sure you're in Eevee. Viewport, bring that to 1, not 0, 1. Bring your mouse down to Simplify. Simplify, open the Simplify thing. Ignore the render thing, you don't need that. Bring this all to 0. All of it. I don't care. 0. All. 0 all. Okay. Objects. This model over here. This thing is currently in flat light. Right click. Shade smooth, shade flat. You wanna make it all fast? Shade smooth. It's gonna look like shit maybe, but it's all gonna be smooth. And it's all gonna, performance-wise, it's all gonna be smooth and fast. Up to you. Some of them can be flat, some of them can be smooth. But speed is all you want. Speed, but if performance what you want, shade smooth. Okay, edit. Perform preferences. Go to viewport. Viewport anti-aliasing. No anti-aliasing. You don't need that. You don't need that. Mouse. Follow my mouse. System. Depending on your GPU, do research on your GPU. But my GPU is an NVIDIA. My GPU uses Optic X. There it is. This is my GPU, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1070 FW. Might as well turn them both on. Why not? Memory. See this? Currently it's 32. Higher, more undos, but slower performance. Bring it down maybe 50, but most likely you're gonna have a terrible time because you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. 150, whatever, is up to you. It's your choice. Let's see. This one on my mouse. Filter. Turn all of this on. Turn those two on. Go out. Here's your object over here. You want this object to be disabled. Not hide, it won't do anything. Disable with this marker screen icon. Now it's gone. Performance improved. Yay. Okay, turn it off. Okay, next one. The shading of your viewport. We're currently in the no shading. This is your material shading. This is what you call shading. See that? Scene light, scene world. Bring it over here instead to material preview. Scene lighting and scene world. You can turn this on and off, but if you want performance, make sure they're all off. Okay, turn them off. Okay, turn them off. Turn them off. Okay, let me look at my list. 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 Rendering. There's 2 types of rendering. Follow my mouse. Render. This is called full rendering. You don't want this. You don't need it. Your PC is too weak. You don't need to use this. It's gonna take hours to render. Instead, follow my mouse. View. Bring it down here. Viewport rendering. So there you go. There's 2 types of rendering. Full rendering and viewport rendering. Okay, let me see. Okay. On my mouse, printer. This is called the output. Bring it down. Here's the resolution, actually. Bring this to 75%. Does not matter. PC's too weak. Just use that. Bring this down, and here's your directory. Change it to whatever. I usually go put mine in videos, but wherever you put it, wherever you want. File format. Click on this. FFmpeg video. Click on that. Bring encoding down. Container. Change that to MP4. You know this, right? Bring this down. Output quality. Computer's too weak. You don't need the quality. Maybe. Click on this. Lowest quality. You don't need it. You don't need it. Encoding speed. Coding speed. click on this. Realtime. You want speed? This is what you do. If you have audio, turn this on to MP3. If not, just leave it off. Who cares? Okay. Let me look at my script again. Here. Over here, let me bring this up. Playback. Follow my mouse. Playback. Click on that. Go up. Sync. See that? Play every frame. You don't want that. Click on this. Click on sync to audio. Frame dropping is kind of okay, but if you want max performance, sync to audio. That's what you need. Okay. Now let me check. Let me look at my stuff. Speed. I think that's it. We're done. Yay, we're done. Okay, thank you very much for watching the too long to read version. Yeah. This is subscribe, like, yay, ring the bell. I don't really say the stuff. Yeah. This video is intended for people who are using Blender 3.6.2, and it's made specifically for low to mid-tier PCs, especially those who can't fully utilize Blender's full tool range. I'm specifically referring to cycles. So this video is gonna be mostly contained in Eevee. Okay, so without being said now, let's begin. So first, let's open Blender. I'm gonna open this thing here. I wish I opened this while I was talking. I guess I can just move myself while I'm waiting. Yes. help me. Yeah, I'm gonna go over here. There you go. Actually, no, we're gonna do a lot in here. Okay, so this is my setup. And obviously you didn't see any projects that. So this is my setup, and before we start, I need to reset this to default settings because none of this is gonna make any sense, especially for beginners. So let's just reset this back to load factory settings. There you go. There you go. I'm doing it for you. Okay, so and bear in mind that I have an experience between low to intermediate, so I will 100% not know every lingo, and most likely some of my information is gonna be 100% lacking. It's gonna be fragmented knowledge because it's kind of. Listen, when I try to find YouTube videos, when I try to find performance, like how do I improve the performance of my goddamn Blender, and I had to dive just to find all of them. I don't really see any videos out there that just straightforward tells you how to do it. So this is that video, and it's gonna be very amateurish because I'm not actually trying. I even have ChatGPT open here just to make sure that I have some kind of like pointer just to follow, because that's how unprepared I am. But I just don't care. I just want as much people to have access to Blender, so there'll be more content there for everyone to see, specifically port. Anyways, with that being said, let's start. Let me look at my list here. Okay, so let's start. So first things first, if you want to speed up your goddamn PC, go here to render. Oh, here, just follow me. I wish I have a mouse thing. So I don't really have a keylogger thing, so you just bear with me, okay? Left click at this television screen over here that says render properties. Okay, open that and make sure you're in Eevee. I did hit the factory settings, so I guess it's well. Just make sure you click on this. There's like 3 things here. I don't really use Workbench, but I usually like. I want to be able to look at my stuff and it looks good enough instead of just grays everywhere. If it's actually no, I'm gonna stop talking off topic. Right, so make sure you're in Eevee, not Cycles or Workbench, unless you wanna. Yeah. Anyways, alright. So go under Samplings, Viewport. Make sure that is 1, not 0, 1. The reason why is because if you're in 0, what will happen is it will make it's automated. That's what it's gonna do. It's gonna automate everything. But if you want it to be as fast as possible, go make sure that the viewpoint is 1. Got it? Okay. Give me a second. I'm noticing. Give me a second. I just wanna. Okay. feel like I'm missing something. Nah, who cares? I'm not an expert. Okay, so viewport 1. Number 2, one of the most important tools is simplify. This is simplify. This will be your friend. Bring this down, and you can just ignore this. We're never gonna use Blender, especially if your PC is not strong enough to take advantage of Blender's full capabilities. Anyways, so bring this all to 0. I'm not gonna read any of this. Just bring this all to 0. Don't care. Bring this all down to 0. There you go. That's all you need to do. The other setting is for ignore everything. Just ignore. Okay. So number 3. Yes. Where am I now? Okay. Number 3. Let's pretend this is some fancy whatever. Okay. So wait. So over here on the top thing over here is your viewport shading, your whatever the fuck that is, whatever. Like I usually just stay here. To be honest, these two are kind of the same. The only difference is there's more shade. But usually what I would do is I just keep all the lights and world off. This two over here, keep them off. And usually I have shade. Usually they're already open here. You can technically do the same thing here over here, but I usually want to be able to switch this back and forth quickly as possible. So just keep the lights off and the scene world be whatever. So okay, number 4, right? Okay, number 4. So let's say you do have a model. Help. Alright. Let's say you have a model over here. Let's pretend this is like a dick and just a high quality model. Actually, no, it doesn't matter. In fact, it doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter. Ignore what I'm doing right now. You don't need to know what I'm doing right now. Okay. So let's say this is the room. Whatever. That's a furniture. I should really change the colors so you'll be able to see. Okay. That's not helpful. Okay. So that's an object. This is the room. Usually, to select everything, just press A. That's your select all button. It's not Control A, just A. So you select A, and then you right click. You right click here, and you will see this thing called Shade Smooth or Shade Flat. Now here's the thing though. You would assume Shade Smooth would make everything slower. Actually, no. It's the opposite, surprisingly. So Shade Smooth, pretty much as much model as possible. Now, of course, sometimes it's gonna look not right because like maybe this is a furniture and it is to look like a furniture. So sometimes you need to compromise and just try and maybe minimize as much flat as possible so you get those edges. But if you want to try and speed up things as much as possible, just go for Shade Smooth. Specifically, the models that you're working with, because let's be honest, you want your characters to look as smooth as possible, right? So give some fuck. The only time that maybe if you really want maybe certain things, maybe I don't know, like what they're wearing in certain cases, then maybe you can. Let's just say that this is their. Let's just say okay. So let's say this is their head, right? And then maybe this is their body. And let's pretend their body, I don't know, has enough garments. Then maybe go ahead and maybe Shade Smooth only maybe some parts of their garments. Actually, no. Let me correct myself. This is their head. This is their hat. Their hat needs to look good. It looks terrible right now. Maybe shade flat the hat, but the face, you want it to be smooth most of the time anyways, so go ahead and turn that smooth. Okay, I'll be honest, I forgot what step I am there, so I'm just gonna make up a number. Okay, next one, step 5. Down here, on the playback thing here, you see my mouse over here? I have no leap controls, so I cannot point with my fingers. Here's my mouse over here. Click on playback down here, and you'll see on the top here that says sync. You want to bring that from play every frame to sync to audio. Frame drop is okay, it's kind of okay, but let's be honest, sync drop is the max in terms of you want to make everything as fast as possible. Sync to audio, it will 100% just skip a lot of frames, but if you're trying to figure out the flow of an animation, let's pretend that let's move this thing. Why not? Let's just move this thing. So I'm just gonna start moving this, hit left, and then I'm gonna do right, and I'm just gonna spam them multiple times. Ignore what I'm doing right now. You don't need to know this part, because it's just gonna frustrate you. But if you're curious, it's called NLA Animating. It just gives you the ability to automate stuff because it's really good and powerful. I suggest that if you are if you're brave enough in the future, go ahead and learn this. It's very, very useful. But for now, ignore this. Ignore this. You will burn yourself out and you will hate yourself. So don't do this right now. But just to let you know that there's a lot of things to learn in Blender, and NLA Animation is one of my favorites. So let's just let's just animate this right now. I'm gonna start hitting the space button to play, or just space button. I'm just gonna hit. So see how it's moving like that? Yeah, so it's moving like that, right? Now I'm not actually sure if. Okay, now the thing is, I'm not sure if this. Actually, what if I do this? Okay, so I'm just gonna try and add as many polygons as possible. I'm just gonna try and make this unwieldy. Okay, so let's see how. So let me bring this playback back to its regular setting, which is play every frame. Let's see how slow this is. Okay, to be honest, it's not. Okay, alright, so let's pretend it's slow. Oh, actually, no, you do see. Give me a second. More polygons. Oh god. Okay, let's see if the FPS is over here, by the way, if you want it. Over there, I tried to look. Okay. 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 Let's just pretend that that's going all the way down to 1 FPS, okay? Because I don't really have a high quality model like that. Come on. More polygons. More fucking polygons. Help. Help me. Make it slow. Okay, I think that's slow enough. I'm hoping. Whatever. Just pretend that. Okay, it's turning red sometimes. Whatever. Pretend that that's FPS going down to us 1 FPS, okay? Because it's so shit. Now, if you go to playback and you bring that to sync to audio, then just pretend that this is gonna be moving like that. It moves really fast. Moves really fast. Please. Please, I don't have a high quality model right now to use an example, but just pretend that it's moving really, really fast right now, okay? Just believe me, I swear. I'm not lying to you. I'm gonna delete this. I don't want to talk about this right now. Okay, so anyways, let me. Oh yeah. Oh, and here's just a bonus tip. If you wanna make new windows, see my mouse over here. See my mouse over here. Yeah. So see my mouse. So you just bring this to the edge of any any windows, and just hold left, drag up, or give a second. If you want to close something quickly, just grab the edge and go down. You see that? It's snapping down. Bam! It is gone. Okay, so again, you can bring it up, or you can go to the side. Okay, there you go. And if you want to change what the fuck each of these windows does, on the top here, you're going to see, this is pretty much the type of whatever the editor you're using. Click on that, and then you have all these options. I'm going to let you explore this part, okay? But usually, oh, wait, let me just, this is a bonus. This is bonus. A fucking bonus. This is not what the video is about, but you might want to know this. So I'm gonna open one here. There you go. Here's a new editor, but of course they're both 3D windows. You don't really want that. I will turn this to timeline. There you go. So pretty much viewport timeline. This is pretty much what you're gonna be working most of the time. And I guess this whatever this thing is. Yeah, here. This thing is called properties. This is what lets you manipulate things. Okay, now, with that side thing out of the way now, let's continue, shall we? Okay, so next one is I think it's step 6. Go to preferences and then go to I think it's under here it is. Okay, so under settings. Actually, before we could move on, this is gonna be about your GPU. So here's mine. Just letting you know that my computer is a Windows 10, i7. I forgot what it is. i7, fucking GPU. My NVIDIA GPU is a 1070 GeForce FTW. Yeah. So that's my setup. It's old. That's all you need to know. It's old. So the only thing that so do research on your own GPU at this point. But for mine, for my specific GPU, I can only take advantage of optics. So that's the only ones I can use, and usually I just have both this on anyways. Oh, there it is, G4 GTX FW, by the way. So I don't know whatever. I don't care. All right. So another way to, I guess, improve the performance, especially if you are further into a project. Here is the memory thing. See this thing. This thing here is the memory thing. Now you'll see this thing called undo steps. Actually, now we're in step 7. Step 7, I think. Step 7. The lower the undo steps in, the more the less undos you have, but the more better your memory will be. So it's usually defaulted to 32. But with mine, I think my computer is good enough to some degree that I can have it to 100. So I can make as many mistakes as possible. And it's good enough. But at some point, maybe if I want to really free up as much memory as possible, bring this down, I don't know, to, I don't know, 10 if you're a masochist. If you are 10 math, if you are confident you're not making mistakes, which by the way, you will make mistakes. Maybe, maybe be, maybe do a compromise of 50. I'll be honest, 50 doesn't work for me. 100 is usually my minimum. I make so much mistakes, please. Please, don't look at me. Don't fucking look at me. Okay, now where the hell am I right now? Ah, yes. Step 8, I guess. So over here in the viewport option, you'll see this thing. Here's your quality. Okay, just play around with this. But usually, what I would do is this is the viewport anti-sampling. I just bring that to none. I don't need. I don't. I don't need anti-sampling when I'm working on animating. I'm gonna be staring at the same thing for multiple hours anyway. So who gives a fuck? Okay, so bring that down to. Okay, now, what am I doing now? Let me look at my chat GPT list here that I made myself here so I'll be able to remember. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Rendering settings. Yes. Okay, so before we talk about the output stuff, just letting you know right now, before you fucking render, there is 2 separate different ways to render. And here's how we're gonna call them. So the first actual where is it? Oh, here. On the top there, you're gonna see this thing called render. Ignore that. Ignore that because that thing I would like to call full render. That's the full render thing. See, you have the render, animation, render, image here. Ignore this. This is not what you want because this is. Listen, here's the thing. If your PC is not strong enough, anyways, ignore this because you won't be able to fully take advantage of it. Because let's say you, I don't know, have a long ass animation that you worked on for multiple weeks, maybe even months. When you start rendering this for maybe just like I don't know, as a quick preview for yourself, just to see if the animation is working well, avoid this, okay? Maybe for the final product you can use this, but I don't really recommend it because whatever you see here is gonna not be the same. Because this is gonna pretty much what it's gonna do is it's gonna render things like for hours. It's gonna render things for hours. That's not what if you like. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Ignore this. Ignore that. Here's the other way to render. This is what I use most of the time. Go under view, not render, view. Go to view, and then down here you're gonna see this thing called viewport renders. So there is 2 types of renders: full rendering and viewport rendering. What this means is viewport rendering is going to render pretty much the way how you see what your project the way it is in your viewport. So sorry. So yes, if you like the way how your viewport is gonna look like, because let's be honest, your PC is gonna be low tier anyways, and you won't be able to fully take advantage of specifically under renders here. You won't be able to fully take advantage of cycles anyways. So if you're working with Eevee anyways, just stick with viewport rendering animation. It will pretty much look exactly how you see your viewport with, and that's the thing. Like if you're already using not high quality models anyways, and most likely you're going to be using maybe low poly or a reasonable amount of polygon models, or models that doesn't even take advantage of lighting. Maybe it's gonna look like a cartoon effect and all that stuff. So you don't really need all that lighting anyways. So just stick with viewport rendering. But again, if you have the full attention to take advantage of, I guess, whatever, all the lighting and all the, I don't know, all the ambient lighting and whatever, the blooms and all that stuff. You can still have that with viewport rendering. Uh, but I guess maybe for the final product, I guess you render with animation. But trust me, it's gonna look different from your viewport, and most likely it's gonna have unintended lighting effects that you didn't intend, and it's gonna maybe block some parts of your animation because you never really fully set up your animation with full rendering in mind in the first place. So just take just try and take advantage of viewport animating, okay. Just take advantage of this. And besides, I'm gonna say this part later, but for now, okay. So full rendering, avoid that. Go to viewport rendering, okay. Okay, so let's see, part, I guess, 8 or 9. I forgot now. Whatever, 9, I think. I hope I didn't skip 8 because my name's sick. Okay, so go under this printing icon. See this? This is called the output. This is your printing thingy. Okay. Go down here and you can change. By the way, keep in mind that make sure to always change your output. I'm not gonna click on this because I'm not gonna. No, please, I'm not gonna click on this. I refuse this. Okay, so actually, I have to. I have to listen. If there's stuff I can't show, I have to just censor it. Alright. So if you want, so majority of the time when you start a new project, they'll always try and send it to your temporary directory. You don't want this because trust me, it's just gonna keep shoving so much renders into a temporary folder. You're gonna run out of space. So instead, just organize your shit. Okay, click on this thing. Okay, thank God. Okay, and then just go to where just go to where you want to render stuff. With me though, I usually just render. I just usually go to videos. I actually no. Ignore this part because is you. Let's pretend that none of this exists. Ignore my bookmark, okay? Ignore my bookmarks, okay? You don't need this because it will not show up in your stuff. Okay, I usually just have a dedicated folder where all my renders will go. And I usually just go to videos. I go to videos, I click on that. Can I click on this? Yeah, maybe I can. Yes, there you go. Please don't look at my stuff. Alright, so I click on accept. Okay, just click on accept. There you go. It goes under it goes under videos. Okay, so go under videos, and then that's where it goes. Okay, alright. So next step of 9. We're still in 9 technically because we were talking about output. So file format. Bring that to this one. This thing here. FFmpeg video. This is what you want to use because this is what this is the one that's gonna. This is the one. Sorry, I'm. Okay, you know what? Ignore everything I'm saying. Okay, this is what you want to use most of the time because it is the most versatile one. Yeah, there's a description there. Holy shit! Keep it. Oh, here's a bonus tip, by the way. If you hover your mouse pretty much to anything, it'll just tell you what it says. Okay, just hover your mouse on everything, and it's gonna tell you what it does. Sometimes it can be vague, but sometimes it's gonna be fucking useful. Okay, so just see that. Look at that. That's so useful. Okay, so FFmpeg video. Bring color mat. No, you don't need this. Encoding. Okay, see the container over here. Turn this to MPEG4. That's MP4. That's what we all use anyway. So use that. Because you're not really using all of Blender's full capabilities, bring the output quality to lowest quality. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Encoding speed. If you just want to render things as quickly as possible, who cares? Realtime. Who gives a fuck? Okay, and then if you do have audio for a video, just switch this to MP3, or maybe just keep it to no audio because you don't really have any audio unless you do have audio. Then that's your. Oh, here's a bonus tip, by the way, for you. Go under render and go under color management. You see this right here? Color management. Now here's the thing. Because this is default settings Blender, it'll always keep your settings in Filmic. Now here's the thing though. Filmic is kind of okay. Filmic is okay for making things look cinematic, I guess. But if you want your project to look as like a, what do you call that word? As one for what the project is, click this and go to standard. This will pretty much show you the model as it is. It'll not try and make everything look fancy and whatever. Let me just make one right now. Shift A, mesh, cube. Here it is. Okay, so let me just change this. See how it's like making it look darker? Yeah, that's the thing. Filmic will try and make everything look cinematic, but that just means it's just to make everything look darker. So bring this to standard if you want it to look as it is, especially for cartoon-looking models. Unless you're trying to make cartoon-looking models look cinematic, I guess use some Filmic. But go ahead and stick with standard, okay? Oh god. Okay, now where am I? Oh yeah. Let's see. Output settings. Yeah, everything's looking good here. Oh, and here's another one for part 9. If your shit is already, not really fully take advantage of Blender's full capabilities anyways, go to the percentage thing here. See, this is your resolution. Under format, okay? Format, just bring this to 75. Who cares? Who gives a... Who cares? Like, you won't be able to fully take advantage of your, settings anyway, so just bring it to 75. Just bring the quality down. This is a quality thing if you're wondering. This is a resolution quality thing, okay? So, oh, and here's the thing. This part is entirely up to you. This doesn't really it has nothing to do with performance, but this is your FPS. This is your frame rate. Most animations it's standard for most animations to be 24 FPS. But if you want your stuff to look as fast, bring that FPS to 60, I guess. Or maybe Battlefield levels FPS 30, I guess. But yeah, 24 is the standard for animating. Sometimes even like lower than that. Go to costume maybe. I don't know. Just bring that down to 15 or 14, I guess. Was it? I don't know. 15 FPS, 24 FPS, standard. Speed things up with 30 or 60. Who cares? Oh, and it will 100% affect your frames here. You're gonna have to just organize that. Okay, so where am I now? Let me look at this thing here. Stick to audio, simplify, sampling, optics. To be honest, oh yeah, here. Oh, this is important. This is actually very important. Okay, so let me just bring another one on. Shift A. I'm gonna spawn in the cube. Okay, so here's one thing you want to know. At some point, you're gonna find this hotkey button over here. Let me just click it. Let me select this. I'm gonna select this button. Everything is on orange around. That's selected. Oh, and keep in mind, over here is another bonus thing for, I guess this is 10, right? Step 10. On the top here, this is how you interact with stuff. We have objects, edits, sculpting, whatever. Who gives a fuck? If you want to select things, keep that in object mode, okay? Keep that in object mode to be able to select a mesh and all stuff, okay? So, click on this. Now, there's a shortcut here called hide. So, what it does is you can hide stuff by pressing H. See? You can hide stuff, and then if you want to bring it back, you can just hold Alt-H. But it'll do it for everything, by the way. So if you're, like, gonna do this, I don't know, like, let's see, we do this. You're gonna, can't forget, happy. Okay, over here. So, if you hide that, and you control Alt, I mean, sorry, I mean, select, and then you H to hide it, Alt-H will show it up again. You do for this one, H, and then Alt-H, you'll do that. Now, if you do it for both of them, H for that, and H for that, if you Alt-H, it will unhide everything, okay? Now, here is the important part. For performance, you don't want this. This is only used, the hide thing is only useful for, you trying to, go into details with your animation. Like, it's like, oh, I'm trying to animate the balls. Is this in the way? Let me hide this now. Okay, I'm gonna animate this thing now. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, now it's done. Let me bring everything back now. Bam. Okay, it's done. This is not good. Hiding this will not improve your performance because there's two types of hiding. So, okay, follow my mouse, okay? over here on the, what is it called, outline, on the outline thing here, you see this mouse over here? That thing is called a filter. Get it? It's a thing, it's a cup thing. I forgot what it's called. That's a filter thing, okay? You click on that, and then you will see this thing called restriction toggles, okay? Restriction toggles. It's on. Just follow what I'm just clicking on over here because you're gonna use it anyways, you know. So click on select highlights. Make sure to highlight selectable, highlight, disable in viewports. That's important, and that's pretty much it. Okay. So what it does, it makes this thing, the restriction stuff show up here. Let me just give an example. Say we're gonna hide all of this. Now it's all gone. You can't interact with it, the way how you want it, and it's not really useful. So just turn on this, that, bam, and that. Okay, turn all those on, and because you're gonna be using them a lot. So here's what you need to know. If I click on this and I click on this and I press H, you see those eyeballs? Those are hide, and they don't do anything for performance. Let me unhide them. Alt H. Okay, or you can so Alt H is clicking on H is the same as this. I select this one, and this is highlighted because that's what it is. You click on the eyeball, it'll hide it. That's what it is. Unhide, hide, unhide, hide. Now, this will not do anything for performance because you are not turning off the object. If you want to turn off an object, you move your mouse from hide to disable. Disable in viewport. This is how you can improve your performance, especially if it's a room setting. Like if you're working with animation and you're primarily focusing on your animation and not the room, turn off the room. Let's just call this the room, okay? So this is your room. In fact, I'm just gonna make this big. Bam, that's your room. Ignore what I'm doing right now. For now, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna make a new material. I'm making a new material. And then I'm just gonna turn this darker. There you go. Okay, so I guess I don't know. You can learn that. I don't know. Okay, so here's your room, and you're working on animation, right? This is your animation. I'm just gonna call this the character. Okay, this is your character, and yeah, here it is. Yeah, this is your character. You want to focus on them, and your FPS over here is gonna show that it's really moving slow. It's like, oh, it's moving slow. Oh, it's moving slow. So what you do is you disable the room. You can either maybe select on the room, maybe you can select it. By the way, here's an extra tip for what step am I in now? I think I'm in step 11, or I'm still in 10. I don't remember. Step 11, I guess. So if you want to not accidentally click on, objects in the background or objects in the foreground, you can deselect. You can make it unselectable. You select on, let's say, the room. Here, you can do it here. You can select on the room here. You can select on the room over there, and then you follow my mouse. Follow my mouse. Holy shit! See this thing here? Disable selection. Just disable that. Bam! I just realized you don't need. Alright. Let me correct myself. You can just click on this thing right away. Okay? Yeah. I'm sorry. Anyway, just disable it. If it looks like that, if the arrow looks like that, that means you can't select it in the screen anymore. So you won't have to worry about it. But another thing you can. Okay. So. Alright. Sorry. That's just a bonus tip. Okay. Now let's go back to step 11. So. If you don't need to work on the room at all because you're focusing on this character, just select the room either here or maybe select it over there. I'm sorry, I'm doing it again. Just click on this button, disable button, disable in viewports. It'll not only hide it, it'll also turn it off, and that'll actually save up some performance for your animation. So now you can focus on animating this, and you can always keep playing this goddamn game. A second. You can't really see it. Here, sorry, I'm in the way. I'm in the way. I'm gonna shrink myself now. I'm sorry. Here we go. Okay, here it is. Yeah, this is what you haven't been seeing, by the way. Alright, so over here is your playback thing. I'm gonna start moving him, blah 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 blah, and I'm gonna click either spacebar to play, or you can click on this play button over here. See, now it's playing. And then you're gonna just keep playing that over and over again. Then over here you can just jump to end point. That'll just keep resetting it, or just let the thing play over and over again. Who gives a fuck? You're learning. We're all new here. Alright, so you're just gonna keep playing this over and over again, just trying to make sure the animation is going right. Okay. Oh, here's a bonus tip for you, by the way. You can actually animate while it's moving. See that? So all the yellows is your frame rates. This is what your animation is gonna rely on to move. You can actually play this, and you can actually just animate the thing while it's moving. It's kind of tricky sometimes, but it works, especially if your performance is really good. Then you can almost animate things by puppeteering it, I guess, like this. See, like blah 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 blah, blah, and that's what it's gonna look like. Yeah, yeah. So okay, again, to select all up, select the object we left, and then while you're in the timeline, you can click on A at everything. That's to select all. Okay, bear that in mind. And then you click on delete. You can just delete that. Okay, whatever. That's not my job. I'm here for performance. That's not what you want. Okay. Okay. Now where am I now? What? Next step. Let's see. Is there a next step? Let's see. Majority there. Smooth shade. Okay, that's already good. Hide viewport. I think. I think that's all of it actually. Oh, I guess here's a bonus tip. Okay, here's a bonus tip. Let me make let me make a armature, which is the skeleton which you use to animate most objects. I'm gonna go Shift A armature single bone. Okay, here's the bone. Now here's the thing though. This is 100% a bonus, I think. Well, bonus step, whatever. Bonus step 12. Okay. Now, you want jiggle bones? You want those boobies and those little dicks to move based on your not automatically. Now here's what you can do. You before you do anything else, you'll notice that it's like okay. Actually, I should be. Okay, let's just do it like this. Okay, sorry. Okay, so here's what you need to do. First things first. Here's your bone. Okay. Control Tab to quickly change from object mode to pose mode. Let's do it manually so you will remember. Okay. Object mode, and then pose mode. So that's what we're gonna be using. Okay. But before that, I'll tell you right now, we are missing an add-on. Yes. Now, bear in mind, Blender already comes with built-in add-ons, but most of them will be disabled for organizational sake. So, if you want to turn on some of the built-in add-ons or add-ons that you got online or you bought online, because there's a big market for add-ons. Go to Edit, go to Preferences, and go to Add-ons. Just bring it over here. So, add-ons. Now, here's what you want if you want those things to jiggle. Okay, click over here and go to Spring Bones. Okay, I'll be honest. I don't think this. Okay, I'll be honest. I think I just lied to you guys. I'm sorry. Let me explain myself. I don't think this is a built-in thing. I think I actually got this online. I'm so sorry. You're gonna have to find this yourself. I'm sorry. Okay, so again, so this is. I don't think this. Okay, so this is not. Okay, okay, so I apologize in advance. That was not a built-in add-on. That was an add-on I found online. Okay, so I'm sorry. Okay, so here's what you need to know. Just call it like Blender Spring Bones. Okay, I don't know. Like I'm not sure if that is all you need to find it, or it'll be hard to find it. I don't know. Just bear in mind that there is other there are other Jiggle-Bone add-ons out there. The one I like using is Spring Bones because it's simple. It's simple, doesn't require any unnecessary things, and here's the reason why. I guess this is 100% a bonus tip now. Okay, so alright. So first, hold Shift to click on both of them. Okay, click once, you'll just click on official only, click on community, if you want to be able to click multiple things, hold Shift, left, and then like that. See? There you go. Okay? Alright, so now I enabled the add-on Spring Bones. Let me close that now. So now, let me actually bring this back to object. Okay, so now, I click on the bone, and then I go to object, pose mode, okay? Now we have a new add-on. We have a new module here called Spring Bones, which is not built in, and you have to find it yourself. I'm sorry about that. Alright, so the reason why I like spring bones because it's very simple. And here's another thing that I like about it. So first, you can click on the spring and rotation, and then what this will do is you'll now be a jiggle bone. Give me a second. I have to do this just to make sure it works. Let me go to edit mode actually, and I'm gonna make a new bone. I'm gonna click on the top of this bone. I'm gonna click on E to extrude a new bone. I just press Z, by the way, to lock my my mouse to the Z axis, by the way. Okay, so now I have 2 new bones. Okay, now here's what I want to do. I'm gonna go to pose mode over here on the top. Pose mode. Okay, now I'm gonna go to the bottom. I'm gonna turn off all the settings for now. Okay, so here's what I want to do. I'm gonna animate this thing. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna animate this. I'm gonna just animate it on the fly. Let me just do this right now. I'm gonna click on space. I'm gonna play everything. I'm gonna move it. There you go. It's done. I think. Okay. There you go. It's moving. Okay. So, oh wait. I have to explain. Alright. I'm gonna click on jump to endpoint to go to the very beginning. Oh, and here's another thing. If you want to be able to animate automatically, click on this thing over here. I haven't mentioned this part. This thing is called Auto King. This is off by default. If you want to be able to animate, it's like this. I'll show you what happens. Okay, so let me just delete all of this. Okay, select it. Alright, so if I want to animate the way how I did it, I click on space and I'm gonna start moving this. Nothing happens. See, nothing happens because it's not automatic keying. So if you want to be able to animate things pretty much automatically, click on this auto keying button over here. Now I can play and animate this. Bam, there you go. Okay, let me bring this over here, and then you're gonna, yeah, there you go. Okay, so now that that's clear out of the way, I'm gonna click on the top one, and I'm gonna click on spring rotation. By the way, there's different effects with this add-on, but okay, so I'm gonna click on interact mode. This is what I like using to be able to do things on the fly. Okay, so now I'm gonna let's just watch this. Okay, hey, it's jiggling, it's jiggling. Oh my god, it's working. Hey, so the reason why I like this add-on is I can turn off the automated jiggle bones, and that will save performance. See, it's still part of this. You need to understand that each add-on will have its own kinks and quirks. And Spring Bones is one of my favorites because, again, it's simplistic and it's versatile. I really want to talk about its ability in NLA. I really want to talk about this, but I can tell that not a lot of people are going to understand this part. How about this? I'll tell you right now. For those people who are familiar with NLA, Spring Bones can be put inside an action. That's right. I'm talking about the settings over here. This thing over here. By the way, I'm talking about advanced stuff right now. Just letting you know. Here's what I mean. Okay. So let me just delete all this for a second. Okay. So, okay. Okay. So I'm gonna. Here is my mouse. I'm gonna make a new window over here. I'm gonna move my mouse over here in the editor type. I'm gonna change this to. I wish you can see this. I'm sorry. I failed you. I failed you so hard. I'm gonna just make another one. I'm gonna make a new window. Yes, there you go. Okay, make a new window. Just gonna extrude it just a little bit. Editor type. NLA Animation is my. It's called NLA Animation means non-linear animations. My favorite. Okay, so I'm just gonna. I can just press N, by the way, to hide that. But I'm saying too much. I'm saying too much. Okay, so here's my animation stuff. Whatever. Here's the beauty of this add-on being so simple and all that stuff. So over here, move my mouse over here. I right-click this tool thing, and I insert keyframe. And I'll do the same for rotation. So now, what I can do with this, I can click on rotate and spring, and now I'm gonna move this just a little bit here. Okay, see how, now, if I move this, you'll notice that this thing is turning green, because that means this is not part of the keyframe anymore. Okay, just bear with me, for the love of God. I'm gonna start moving this left and right, and just stare at this thing. Okay, you'll notice it's gonna turn yellow and green sometimes. See, yellow, green, green. Okay, keeping up with me, please, for the love of God, you're keeping up with me. I now right-click this thing. I right-click. I add a new keyframe. This thing too. Now I can turn this off. I can also turn this off. So now that I turn them off, here's what's gonna happen. Just stare at this. Okay? Stare at this. I'm gonna start moving the timeline. Just stare at this, okay? I'm gonna move. Oh! Look at that! It turned on by itself. I'm gonna bring this. I'm gonna move the timeline now. It turned off! Wow! I can turn off and on, and yeah, I can animate it turning on and off. Could be very useful for certain things, right? Help me. Help me. Alright, so but yeah, so I just want to show that. But here's the beauty of this, okay? Here's the beauty of this. Oh, by the way, here's the keyframe of the turning on and off thing, right? Okay. Here's the beauty of it. You can turn this into an action in NLA Animation. So I'm gonna do this right now. I'm gonna move my mouse to this thing. I'm gonna push this down into an action. Here it is. Bam! It's an actual NLA animation. And what does it do? Just stare at this thing, motherfucker. Okay, follow my mouse. Stare at it. Wow! Turn it off! Turn it off! Okay, now with that being said, here's a warning. Here's a warning. If you don't keep track of your NLA animation with this thing, this will make you go mad. Because if you don't keep track of this NLA, that this has the ability to turn on and off certain, properties. One of these days, you will bury this thing with so many NLA animations in the future. Let me just maybe do that right now. I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna push one down. I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna push one down. Okay, just pretend that we buried this NLA with the other animations. Okay, what's gonna happen is at some point you're gonna be like animating with this. Let's just pretend that you can't see this. Okay, I'm gonna bring this down. So you assume there's only two NLA actions, right? Two actions. And you completely forgot that there's one down here. Oh, by the way, so if you want to know how I move stuff in a window, with your middle mouse, hold the middle mouse and start dragging it. Very useful. It can be done for pretty much everything. See? Okay. Anyways. You got these two actions over here, but you completely forgot that this thing even exists, okay? So you're gonna start animating stuff, and then here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna animate, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why is my jiggle bones turning on and off by itself? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna turn this off now. I'm gonna turn this off as well. Okay, now it's gonna start playing again. Let's bring it over here. It's gonna start playing again. Okay, I'm gonna go, what the fuck? Stop! I'm gonna turn this off again. Okay, now we play again. Okay. Oh my god, what the fuck is happening? So then you're gonna realize that, oh my god, I forgot that I keyframed the damping in an action inside the NLA animation. So I'm gonna start looking for them. Oh no. So I go to this action over here. I'm gonna click on tab to open them. And I'm gonna just click on all the bones to figure out where the fuck is the problem. Okay, so it's like, okay. So I have a keyframe over here. I'm gonna click on this. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna turn this off. Actually, no. It's not yellow. It's not even green. So it's not there. Okay, I'm gonna exit by I'm gonna exit out of here by clicking on tab, or just click on this again. I'm gonna go to the next one, which is here. Okay, I get another one. Like, what the fuck? So let's pretend that after 20 other actions, you're searching for this damn thing. You finally go to the actual damn action that has it. You click on this, and then you tap to see it. And I'm like, oh my god, I see the green. That means this is the fucking thing holding up. Oh no, let me see. Okay, here it is. Oh my god, there it is. Is it this one? It is. Oh my god. I'm gonna delete this now. I'm gonna click on this. I'm gonna delete them. Yeah, okay. So where's the next one? I'm gonna go to this one. I think it's this one. Here it is. Oh my god. Oh my god. Thank you. Okay. Now doing that manually is kind of a tedious thing. Let me just undo myself. Let me just undo. I'm gonna start undoing, okay? Okay. So there might be another way to get rid of this damn thing. You click on this, and you go to clear keyframes. You click on that, remove the keyframes. It's all gone. Okay? So, save yourself from that. If you're gonna tackle with NLA animation, keep that in mind. Add-ons can be put inside an NLA action, okay? So let me just exit this now. And of course it's gone because I don't really have it anymore. Okay, so anyways, okay. So, let me see. Have I explored all options here? Ignore what I'm doing now because I'm just double checking everything, okay? Actually, I think that's it. By the way, so if you want, okay, now before I think that's it. But now before I end this video, if you're wondering why I haven't touched the other ones, it's because they're not really that impactful. There might be some impact, but with my experimentation, with my current setup for my PC, I realized that I don't really need to. So yeah, performance, curves, shadows, and I don't know, like I can bring this down whatever to maybe 64, but it's gonna look like shit. Okay, at that point you're gonna start making things look like shit. I don't know, maybe turn off soft shadows maybe, but it's gonna look very blocky. So I'm not gonna include any of this stuff because their impact isn't really that massive. Okay, so with that being said, let me look at my script here from ChatGPT to see if I done everything else. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, so okay guys, sorry for the tangent and sorry for making this video longer than I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be as short as possible, but this video will pretty much contain all the knowledge with my level of experience, which is low to intermediate, to pretty much show you how to improve the performance of your Blender. Okay? So hopefully this will help you in the future and will help you make more content for the internet, and hopefully I'll be able to watch them, and maybe if they are really hot and steamy then I might be able to watch them. Okay, that's it. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I'm gonna say these things because it is a feature on YouTube, and I don't know, maybe this tutorial video is gonna blow up or not. I don't know. Subscribe, ring the bell, like. I'm sorry, I had to say it. I had to say it, please. I'm desperate. I'm desperate so that more people can see this, okay? I want more porn out there. Okay. Bye-bye. I can't wave my hand. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Yay.